audio, and welcome to another episode of Let's Argue. We can
now add up to 3 guests.
3 guests.
To your podcast.
Yeah. All right, so 3 people can join us live if they feel like it. And we're going to roll into this. This is our NFL pregame show.
I feel like you're Mike Wazowski right now with that.
It's very inverted, so we're looking at it opposite right now.
Yeah, so if we look at something, it's different.
Yeah. So, with that being said, everybody, we're going to roll into this.
I just want to check and make sure that it's working before we keep going.
Yeah, we're good, guys. We're going to give y'all NFL score predictions. If you guys want to tap in, hit the comments, all that good stuff.
Well, sweet. Yep. So it is live shows working. Other than that, let's jump right in. So it's Sunday. It's Sunday football, guys.
Sunday morning.
It is.
We're about an hour before game time. We're gonna give y'all today predictions. Talk about a little bit of last week before we start our predictions, so we can get some people catching the eye on the live.
So let's go through today, and then as we talk about the teams for today, predictions, and let's talk about the teams. So first things first, what you guys are going to see today, 12 o'clock, we have Patriots at Steelers. Now,
Steelers are without Watt, but they're saying
Najee Harris is having issues. I think he's still questionable right now, but just to kind of bring up, if you remember Brian Flores, head coach of Miami, this is going to be the first time that him and Bill Belichick will share a field. If you remember, Brian Flores is now the linebacker coach for the Steelers. So everyone's talking about that today. But other than that, Najee Harris is...
That's fantasy. Go up a little bit. I should say, or go to their injury report. Go to the Steelers. Just click on the Steelers, the team itself.
But other than that, I mean, obviously the Patriots had a kind of an interesting bout with Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins really crushed them. Honestly, that was kind of upset. So he's a full participant.
There we go. No, go down to Sunday.
He was a full participant on Friday, so he should be playing, but he was a full participant.
Okay, they have Najee Harris. They're only without Watt. Just realized I didn't have my other mic on. You guys probably thought I was very far away.
But Watt is he actually had a couple other doctors. What is it? Report rerun.
So he's expected to be out probably about half the season instead of
a full
ending.
season.
Yeah. They're very optimistic about that. It doesn't require surgery. Surgery would have ended his season. But he tore his pec, and unfortunately, that is like one of the worst injuries you can have.
Oh, it's
as a football player, because
painful.
You got to use your hands a lot, and when you can't use your hands, you can't play. So, and chest injuries are not fun.
This was just posted. Najee Harris is getting some pregame work in. It looks like he has a decent amount of tape on his left foot. So, I mean, he is getting his work in. He's getting his reps in.
They'll probably keep him on a light load.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin is actually 3-8 all-time against Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So, it's going to be interesting to see what the Patriots do, especially after such a I'm not going to say embarrassing loss, but Miami Dolphins definitely looked pretty solid. So, Pittsburgh Steelers won their bout. It was it was a kicker, just mayhem in Cincinnati. The kicker for the Steelers just boinked it. It seemed like they had a for sure win.
I almost want to say that was the most missed kicks I've seen.
That in week 1 in general. It wasn't just that game, but it was a week 1 just absolutely insane. But Mitch Trubisky did not look bad. Just in his previous game, who did the Steelers against Cincinnati? If we literally just said that, Mitch Trubisky honestly did not look bad to me.
No, Steelers actually look really solid.
Yeah, he went for 21 for 38, not the best, but 194 yards and 1 touchdown. But, I mean, given what Mitch Trubisky's been in the league and what the Chicago Bears did, Trubisky actually looked kind of nice.
I feel like he's in an offense that fits him better as well.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, Cincinnati definitely has I say that Cincinnati, I'm going to be optimistic here. Cincinnati plays Cowboys. I hope to God that we show up. But other than that, who do you think is going to take this between Patriots and Steelers?
Patriots and Steelers. I really think the Steelers are going to come out on top. Patriots are without Mac Jones. Actually, I'm not too sure. Pull up I feel like ESPN shows it. They show the injury report on the actual setup game. NFL injuries. And
So
scroll down to Patriots.
Yep.
We're going to see, I'm pretty sure Mac Jones had back issues. I don't know if he's going to be out this week or not. But
Yeah, so Pittsburgh's notable injury, Mark Robinson, Mason, Kendrick Green. We already spoke about TJ Watt. He's on the injury reserve. And where was the New England?
they're at the bottom probably.
So, no,
Mac-
Mac Jones is not on the injury report.
Okay, so he's going to play. Yeah, I just don't really think the Patriots got that. It is the Patriots, though. They're not a bad team. So I feel like the Steelers are going to come out on top. They just have a well-rounded team.
So what do you think the score prediction would be?
It's probably going to be,
It's in Pittsburgh.
I want to say it's going to be 17-14 Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say 21-10 Pittsburgh.
I like it.
So moving on to the next game we got is Panthers and Giants. I actually really liked Baker Mayfield and his performance against the Browns. What he did, just coming back, I mean, I think it was pretty awesome to see, just because of, I mean, just the whole everything behind Baker and the Panthers. I mean, he did go 16 for 27, 235 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Christian McCaffrey, I feel like he wasn't, I don't know, what's the best way you can say? Like, he wasn't all, I don't know.
That, unfortunately, the Panthers they got, I think, a little bit of overhype. They hyped up Christian McCaffrey again for
Yeah, he only
just
averaged
because
3.3
it's
yards
what he's
a
done.
carry.
It's what he's done in the past, but unfortunately, it's not the same Christian McCaffrey anymore.
No.
And people have to realize it's probably going to take him about half the season if he even stays healthy that long. But he has a track record now of just not being available.
Yeah.
But Panthers are playing who this week?
They are going to be playing the Giants in New York.
So I think Panthers will come out on top. They look like the better team. They got a couple. If McCaffrey has a typical McCaffrey game where he might go off, he might not. It's kind of a toss-up, and if Baker can hold it down for the Panthers, because Panthers have been in a limbo effect for quite some time now, losing a lot of all-star type players, and now they're making their way back, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
But they finally got a quarterback that could probably, I'm pretty sure he's going to stick around in Carolina for a little bit, so they could kind of build around that. But the thing is, they got a lot of players that are going to be leaving as soon as this season's up, I feel like.
Yeah, there's not a lot of notable outs and injuries. I think the biggest one with New York Giants is Nick McLeod, cornerback, Jason Pinnock, cornerback. So, I mean, they are hurting in their secondary, as well as Wan'Dale Robinson, their wide receiver. But, I mean, this is Daniel Jones' last year. It's his last year on his rookie contract. So, Daniel Jones is kind of in the hot seat when it comes to his job. Now, other than that, predictions, Panthers and Giants?
Let's see. Panthers, Giants.
Panthers won at 24-14.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are actually going to come out as a pretty solid favorite in this one. 24-14. I would say probably I'm going to drop it down 21-17
21-17.
Panthers. Just cuz their offense is not like an elite type of offense. I feel like Baker can definitely put together solid 3 scores. Like you said, he might be able to trickle them down towards the end for a last-minute field goal, kind of put the cherry on top. So it could easily be like a 24-17, even maybe a little bit higher because they are a fast-paced offense.
Okay.
So we'll see where that one goes.
Moving on, let's get to kind of a primetime game, Buccaneers and Saints.
Buccaneers and Saints. I'm sorry, Saints, but I think you guys are going to get your throat stepped on this one. The Bucs just look way too good.
Yeah, the Saints. Now this is huge. This is actually really, really big. Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. Alvin Kamara is officially ruled out of today's game. Now Mark Ingram is questionable. His ankle.
What happened? You remember when they kept saying Kamara was supposed to get a suspension?
I think they're still figuring all that out, but either way, he has not played. I mean, he's out.
Yeah, so he's out with an injury now.
Yeah, his ribs remain listed for questionable for today's game, but he is not expected to play whatsoever, and they are ruling it completely out now. So Mark Ingram is questionable with his ankle. He is expected to play some, at least with some reps. Jameis Winston is even questionable for today's game with his back. It is questionable, but he is expected to suit up and play. I believe he's even making reps out right now. Other than that, they have quite a bit of injuries at running back. Dwayne Washington is also questionable, his hamstring. Now, I mean, with that being said, the Buccaneers looked pretty solid on defense. Even Tom Brady did Tom Brady things against the Cowboys last weekend. And it was a tough loss on the Cowboys side. But
Cowboys are, unfortunately, they didn't make any move for a quarterback.
No, they did not.
And then now, like, I seen a couple, I'm just going to say, some delusional takes on Cowboys. They're like, well, this isn't the first time a backup quarterback's had to come in for the primetime starter, and it comes to find out they were referring to Cooper Rush as being the next Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a few times this week, and I was like, that's a stretch. That's like doing the splits right there. That's a huge stretch.
We're gonna see, but on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers side, Julio Jones is out. He's inactive for today's game. Keyshawn Vaughn.
Julio's already hurt.
Yep. Keyshawn Vaughn.
This is what I had. This is my worry about the Bucs is they bring in Julio, and Julio is supposed to be that take a hit kind of guy, right?
So not only Julio, but Chris Godwin is out. If you remember, against the Cowboys, he injured. We all thought actually. I think you said it was a cramp.
Well, no, they said it was something because they did an immediate release on the situation. They were like, it's a knee problem.
Yeah.
They're like, they haven't got the details on the extent of the injury, but
they refused to comment on it. But
because it might be the bad news.
So he is out. Kyle Rudolph is still out. Donovan Smith on offensive tackle. He is still out.
Lenny. Mike Evans. Oh, Mike Evans is questionable too.
Mike Evans is not questionable. They ruled that out, so he is fine to play into.
Okay, cool. Because he's on my fantasy lineup. I was about to cry myself to sleep on that one.
So with that being said, Tampa Bay. I mean, Jameis Winston and the Saints definitely did a fourth quarter. Amazing things. I mean, Jameis Winston is that clutch quarterback. Even though he in Tampa Bay. It's kind of cool to see Jameis Winston play Tampa Bay. I mean, that's where his career started. That's where his career was going.
Now, see, he's getting dealt a pretty good hand right now.
He was actually, I think, one of the first quarterbacks to do 30 for 30 and 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think
he's the most mediocre quarterback in the league.
But I think he's doing really well with the Saints. And the Saints' new head coach, he got his first win. So, I say Buccaneers just because of that defense with White as a linebacker. I mean, the corners looked absolutely amazing.
Saints, though, I don't know. They're kind of like, and Michael Thomas is back.
Michael Thomas is
and
back.
he's having
he
a
looked
hell of a
solid.
first game.
Now, the first game, though, I mean, he really balled out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But I think he was like one of those, like, hey, come on. And he's fucking, that's shit up right now.
Yeah, I need you to step
So-
it up, bud.
Buccaneers are winning this. I'm going to do, I'm sorry. I'm going to do 32-10 Buccaneers.
Whoa. Just with all the injuries that the Buccaneers have, their only hope right now is that Lenny and Brady.
I need you to calm down there, okay? I have Brady on my
still-
fantasy, all right?
Well, they're still healthy. Their O-line still is in good condition.
Well, they lost Ryan Jensen, but it didn't seem like.
I'm gonna say just because it's Brady and he still has the passing game. Regardless, if Brady's in, he has a passing game. So
Well, the
thing
Saints
is, he
are
still has
missing-
Evans. Evans was getting open all last week.
The Saints are missing Kamara and possibly Mark Ingram.
I feel like this game is actually pretty leveled out with both teams having significant people out.
Now, I wouldn't say that. Buccaneers have Leonard Fournette. And
Yeah,
Leonard
but-
Fournette is in the top 5 rushing leaders right now. He is 127
Saints
yards.
rush defense is usually top tier though. So
What's your
with
prediction?
that being said, I think it's going to be 28-21 Bucks. Because Brady usually puts up a decent amount of tutties.
Okay.
He's got Mike Evans on the deep ball. I think it's going to end with a deep ball kind of dagger. And it's just going to be, that's just how Brady's just going to hit him with, I can throw the ball, you guys can't. So we're going to beat you all downfield.
Okay. I want to talk about one more 12 o'clock game. Actually, 2 more real quick, and then we'll start moving over to the afternoon games. If we miss your team and they're playing at 12 o'clock, I mean, comment. Let us know. Commanders and Lions. Now, this is the only
I was
reason
going to
why.
have you just pause, but have you kind of check it
Oh.
to make sure it's still, no, not that. Keep an eye on the live just
Yeah.
to make sure that it's not like frozen or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. We can put it on there.
I was about to say just search it.
Yeah, you know what? I learned that.
Just want to kind of make sure it's still going.
Yep. It's just delayed.
Okay,
So
that's all good.
now, with that being said, let's go right into Commanders and Lions. This is the first week that the Lions are a favorite.
Yeah. Lions are playing. They're really favorites. I
Yeah.
just don't have that kind of faith in
The Lions?
the Lions. And you know what?
And Goff?
Commanders. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Goff is just a choke art. There's a reason why he's on the Lions now.
Damn.
Commanders, I think come out on top, 17-10. They're a low-scoring team, but their defense is really good.
Lions 17-14.
I can see it. This is a very good
I think it's-
shittier matchup.
Now, the Lions do have DeAndre Swift. They also have Jamal Williams, so
Yes.
they have one of the best running backs right now. And I really love their wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he is solid as well. I mean, Detroit's got some good things going there with the head coach just picking it up. But moving on to the next game, Dolphins and Ravens. I do want to just talk about this because Dolphins, notable pickups in the offseason, and Tyreek Hill, Tua, Jalen Waddle did amazing. I really love the Waddle
Good.
dance.
I was about to say that
the-
one, the Waddle dance was like, I'm like, this is
You
so.
just see the Waddle. Like I really messed with that because
I liked it. It
you
was
see him
so
like
simple.
flip the football and just do the Waddle and like then the camera
The whole stand, the tutty section of
That's
for
dope.
Miami was
That's
just
dope.
like.
that's dope. I really,
Miami looks nice this year. I'm not even gonna lie.
The Ravens, we've had these conversations all last week Sunday with Lamar Jackson and the pay. I honestly don't see it. The Ravens, did they win last weekend. Yeah, they did. Ravens play. Who they play last weekend?
I don't even know.
We're in Kansas City. We don't watch.
I can't remember every game off the top of my head.
Yeah, but regardless of the fact, I mean, it is Lamar Jackson. They are without a lot of wide receivers. I mean, they lost Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. I'm gonna have to give it with the Dolphins because I just really liked what they did. I mean, they do have Drake. They have Waddle. They have Tyreek. Mike Gesicki. He didn't really perform as well as we known last year, but given all the weapons, given what the Dolphins have, I really feel like the Dolphins will come out on top on this.
I did tap into it a little bit. Mostert is playing.
He did play last weekend, so he is playing. I actually honestly did not pull up the injury report. We can pull that up before we give our predictions. If you want to give yours first, that's fine.
I think Miami, just with the offense, they have one of the best offenses. They haven't been this good in, I can't even remember.
So, J.K. Dobbins is still out as knee. Nick Boyle, Brandon Stevens on the defense, and Ronnie Stanley on the offensive line. Miami, I didn't hear any notable misses. Mostert was kind of in that, but honestly, they're not missing anything huge. Myles Gaskin, running back, Eric Uzkanma, wide receiver that's out, but they still have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek.
Yeah, so Dolphins is, I was about to say, I had Gesicki in last week, and he disappointed the hell out of me. He does not get the ball very often now that Tyreek Hill is on the team. He got one reception, and it was kind of disappointing. But Dolphins, I think, just because they have such a high-power offense, their defense is young. I think Dolphins are going to come out on top. They got the better.
What's the score prediction?
I want to say, just because both teams can just move the ball with their feet real well, run game, pass game is elite there for both teams. I would say the Dolphins are going to come out on top. Probably, let's see, I'm gonna up it up. I'm gonna up this one to 30. 23.
I'm going to say
Dolphins.
I'm going to say 28-21. Dolphins.
All right.
I think it's going to be a touchdown.
All right.
Now,
yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a pretty big spread.
Let's move on to something a little juicy. Niners,
Seahawks, NFC West showdown. Seahawks do look better than what the analysts have been saying and what we've been saying. Geno Smith, so far, his second half was not the prettiest.
I'm going to come out with something bold.
Seahawks offensive line, though, did not look good in the second half.
I'm going to come out with something bold. George Kittle, take him off your fantasies. Done.
I don't disagree with you on that just because of the fact they can't figure out when this motherfucker is going to come back.
Yeah, he is not expected to suit up for today's game at all. He is listed as questionable, but he is not expected. I don't think they want to put him in.
He did participate in practice this week. So they're saying that there's a much higher chance of him playing this week.
Well, today's the 18th, correct?
Yeah.
So he's not expected. That's what was released today.
Not expected, but they've said this before on him, and he tends to kind of come out.
Now, Elijah Mitchell is
he's
also
done for the season. Take him off their fantasy lineups. He's not coming back. But yeah, Niners, they got Jeff Wilson stepping up. They got a couple of guys back from injury. They still got Debo. They still got Ayuk. They still have their threats. They still have the downfield threat. I think they're going to come up with a different game plan defensively for the Niners always struggle with the Seahawks no matter whether they're home or away. It's just a rivalry game. But they're kind of in a must-win situation early on in the season because if Seahawks go 2-0. One, they take the division spot, which they already have because everyone lost in the NFC West last week.
Yeah, but they take it, and they're
going to run with it at that point.
Now, with that being said, Seattle Seahawks, Jamal Adams had an injury last weekend, out for the season yet again.
So I would just say that dude's career, it might be done.
If you remember last year, he was also out for the season after I think his fifth or sixth game. The year before that, he was also out for a season.
He hasn't played a full season in 3 years.
Yeah, so that's tough. And, I mean...
They got a big hole in their defense because he was the reason why they were getting a lot of stops.
He also has more injuries than interceptions.
Yeah. And, well, what I was saying was...
yeah.
Jamal Adams was the reason last week why they were doing so well.
Yeah,
he was making crazy stops. He was getting sacks on Wilson, stuff like that, and he's a safety. So with that big hole,
that's honestly why people mention. I mean, that's honestly why he has more injuries than interception. I mean, he's a blitz safety. That's kind of his job.
That's why he gets hurt so much.
Yeah, but I'm actually gonna go with Geno.
I can't do it.
And the Hawks.
I hope you didn't do this week.
But it's gonna be Hawks
this week. They're playing a much better defense.
And San Fran.
Yeah. So San Fran's got the home field advantage.
If
it's a rivalry, it's a rivalry game. I think the offense is going to tear it up a little bit today. They're home. They're not playing in the rain this week, so we're going to see them. Yeah, we're not going to see slip and slides this week. We're going to see a more competitive game for the Niners. I feel like it's going to be... I think the Niners are finally going to put up 20-plus this week. They're not going to be held... They're not going to be held...
You look very,
I'm trying to think about 27-17 Niners.
I'm going to go 24-21 Hawks.
Again, no. I don't think the Hawks are going to get 20-plus points.
You heard it here first. Now, this is something
they struggled to get 17 points last week.
And we are going to document the predictions. If you remember last year, we did not do this in week 1, so we apologize for that. But we are going to have our predictions, and we are going to start week 2 and on who finishes out the season between me and Tyler on predictions. Now, moving on, Falcons and Rams.
I think the Rams
got woken up. This game
and Matthew Stafford is getting pummeled. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, so Rams. This is what happens when you go all in. You don't have picks till 2027.
Yeah, they're gonna have to trade around, I think.
But other than that, I mean, they lost Von Miller. They saw what happened to losing that edge, and it showed. Rams got woken up, and this is the game where they're gonna come back and hopefully show out hey, we are the Super Bowl team. You hung the banner, and you had an embarrassing 3 quarters of absolutely nothing happening. You got the 10 points. Jalen Ramsey got burned, and the Rams are just. You mentioned Matthew Stafford got pummeled. I mean, nothing was going online besides Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp had a hell of a game, but that was.
He always has a hell of a game.
Yeah, that's just a norm now in the NFL. Is if you got Cooper Kupp fantasy lineup, you're looking at 10+ receptions every game. Now, the thing with the Rams, though, is they lost a lot of key pieces to their O-line, and I feel like they kind of ignored it in the offseason and didn't really do a whole lot about it. And I think they're realizing that they might have one of the worst O-lines in the league right now.
Yeah, and then Cam Akers did not do absolutely...
And he came out and basically publicly said that he was very frustrated that he was so limited when he's 100%.
Yeah, and, I mean, you're so frustrated he did not get online, but you only gave him 3 attempts, 3 carries for 2 yards.
Yeah, and Cam Akers came out and said, I don't understand he's like, I think it was a game plan thing. And their game plan kind of just...
I think when Matthew Stafford was getting so pummeled that
And I think we just need to acknowledge that the Bills right now look
The
and
most complete.
performed as the best team in the league, besides the high motor Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think Kansas City Chiefs is that great. They have not played against a solid defense. They played against a solid defense with the Chargers, and you could tell when it's a battle, it's whose defense is going to win. And the Chargers did great, but the Chiefs did not. Chet, thank you for that. We're good.
You guys, I think we missed a good chunk on the audio portion.
Not much because it's just now processing.
Yeah, 11:20.
11:20.
Did it stop at 11:20?
Yeah.
Why it has 2? Oh, dude,
What's happening?
you stopped it
How?
because you went off record. Every time you go off the record button, it stops it.
I did not know that. All right.
Okay, so we might have missed a good amount. I don't know how much we missed.
Hopefully not, but we have everything on here on live.
So we're back. Audio portion.
We are back.
Just missed. I don't know how much we missed.
I don't know. Oh, jeez. I don't know. Another way maybe. Can I go to another tab and look?
Yeah, because you got a recording right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go check before you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're still going.
So those are still. But that was said 11:20.
30 minutes. Okay, go up.
Yeah. So
So
11. That one was 11:20. So we just caught it.
Okay, because I was like, we're going super.
Yeah. So you
in-depth.
remember that said 11:20, 11:20, 11:20.
Yeah.
So we're good.
We're
So audio, if there is a kind of a misstep, that was the reason.
There's
why.
a good chunk of a few. I think that was a solid, probably minute or two of just.
I was just lapsing.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Our
we're back.
apologies. It cuts at 30. We have to start a new seg.
But this is all new. I mean, we're doing a live.
Yeah, we're running live right now, so you guys just watch our little hiccup.
Other than that, move on to another segment. Raiders and Cardinals. Raiders, Devontae Adams and the Raiders offense looked pretty solid. Hunter Renfrow got a couple reps. Darren Waller as well. Devontae Adams and Derek Carr looked nice, but the biggest thing with the Raiders, they need to really figure out on how to, if they want to take the division, if they want to start picking up and showing people who the Las Vegas Raiders are, the Raiders have to really figure it out in this game right here against the Cardinals.
The Raiders they have an O-line issue as well. Their offense is perfectly fine. I think they just had a couple miscues in their recent game. I think they could have easily won their first game, but not everyone's gonna win every game. It's just not gonna happen. But Raiders, I still feel as if they could still come out on top in the AFC West. I'm waiting for them to face the Chiefs to really kind of test their level of competitiveness. Raiders are playing who this week?
So the Raiders are playing the Cardinals.
Honestly, Cardinals got overhyped. They do not look that good.
Yeah, the Cardinals, this is the reason why, and if you were listening to live and if you caught it in the audio version, this is the reason why I think the Chiefs are very, very overhyped. The defense has not, yes, they had the 99-yard return from Jalen Watson. The story of Jalen Watson is amazing. Started working at Wendy's, trying to figure out how to play ball, and I mean, you come into the league and do something like that, that is amazing. But the defense, not to discredit that, not to discredit the whole entire defense, but the Chiefs, it's not secret that they lost quite a bit of people. And I don't think the Chiefs' defense has been fixed. I think when you play against a team like the Chargers, you can definitely tell. Mm-hmm. And the Chargers were without Keenan Allen. Can you imagine if Keenan Allen was suited up and playing? It could have been a completely different ball game, but that's all what it is now. It could have been. But you play against Arizona, and then you let them score 21 points unanswered. It just took the Arizona Cardinals, some time to get going. J.J. Watt is expected but he is questionable. This is the thing that you see on the Arizona Cardinal injury report almost every single week. J.J. Watt is always going to be questionable.
I think he's going to wrap it up this year.
Yeah, Jalen Thompson is also questionable. Safety, Rondell Moore, wide receiver, he is out. I mean, they have a pretty big injury report right now. A lot of people on the injury reserve, on the IR. But with that being said, I believe the Raiders are going to take this.
Yeah, the Raiders are definitely the better team in this situation. Unfortunately, I think this one's going to be a 2-score just because of how good the Raiders' offense is. And I feel bad for the Cardinals, man. They're playing the best offenses in the league right now.
So what do you think
I'm gonna give it to the Raiders. I think it's going to be 28-14.
28-14?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't see the Cardinals doing
I was
going to
say 28-14 or 28-10, so I'll just match you 28-14.
All right, yeah, I think we came to an agreement on that one the most.
So let's just let's wrap up the night games.
Yeah.
Before I just skip over the Cowboys, I'm in the gear. Cowboys and Bengals, that's the last afternoon game we'll touch on. Cowboys have a pretty big injury report. Dak Prescott is out. There is speculation whether or not they're going to rush Dak Prescott or not. But 4 to 8 weeks could be. There's a 7-day healing progress. He's cleared to resume football activities, but I don't know what's going to happen with Prescott. Michael Gallup is out, but he was doing some reps. Jason Kearse is out now. He will be sidelined against the Bengals. That is a huge hit to the Cowboys defense.
I think the Bengals got the upper hand on the Cowboys now.
And Connor McGovern, our guard, is going to be out. There was no comment whatsoever. Washington is on the IR. His foot, he's going to need rehab.
Cowboys, once again, are not going to be them boys.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
say
No.
Don't
Unfortunately,
say that.
Cincy has a really good team. They had some hiccups in week 1, but
It was a tough game against Pittsburgh. It was not the Cincinnati Bengals that we saw last season, but Cincinnati,
y'all have to remember Cincinnati kind of was a pinball all
last year.
all throughout the season. They kind of they were here and there, and then come playoff time, they got a lot of people back, and then we're able to kind of push through. But Bengals, I think, are going to come out on top. Field goal, I want to say 27-24.
I'm going to flip it Cowboys 27-24.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like it might even be lower than that just because both teams are they're a toss-up right now.
So we have a couple night games just to go over real quick. Halftime show will be starting very soon, so hopefully you're sticking out with us.
There's 2 night games tonight?
3.
Why are they 3? No, it's
6:15.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, read that wrong.
Those are both tomorrow. What?
Yep. So
That's different.
there's 2 Monday night games tomorrow. One at 6:15, one at 7:30. Now, let's touch on primetime NFL Sunday. Gary Underwood, Sunday night.
Who's playing tonight?
Bears and Packers.
Packers rivalry game. I think Rodgers just dominates the Bears.
Yeah, I think most franchise wins, Bears have it by 1 game, and Packers can tie it, 758 to 757.
Yeah, but the last 2 decades almost, the Packers are 23-5
Yes,
against the Bears. Fortunately, Rodgers said it last year, clear as day, after a tutty. He said, "I fucking own you." Yeah,
I remember that.
and
his hair was just blowing in
yeah,
the wind.
it was a in the moment scream. Fucking own you. It was pretty self-explanatory for this game. I don't think Rodgers wants to lose this game. I think Rodgers is very frustrated. I think he kind of freaking put his team in the doghouse all week and said, "Get your shit together."
Specifically the wide receivers.
Yeah, he had a lot, wide open, deep passes, and these dudes said, "I don't know what to do with my hands."
Yeah, so this is bad, though. Alan Lazard is questionable. He is expected to play against the Bears, but he is questionable. David Bakatari, he's still questionable. I'm not sure. I mean, during the halftime show, I'm sure they're showing it right now. But if he is going to play, they were going to announce it in the next 30 minutes. But
they're probably announcing it right now.
Yeah. Well, it
Game
just started.
time.
It
Yeah.
just started. So.
But
with
pretty
that
sure,
being said,
Packers will come out on top. I would say by field goal, just because they're not the same Packers as they used to be. But I want to say the Packers are definitely they're gonna come out on top for this game. I would say 17-10.
I'm going to go ahead and say 21-14 by a touchdown. I feel like the Bears will definitely be just within that reach. It'll either be 21-17 or 21-14. I'm going to say a touchdown because I feel like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, when it gets to crunch time, Rodgers is going to have that conversation like, hey, just catch.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, that was the Sunday's predictions. This is something new that we did.
Yes, this is our first time going live.
It was kind of spur of the moment.
Yeah, I wanted to give it a go. I don't know if anyone was in here for it.
Well, we'll figure it out later. But regardless of the fact, this video, we can keep it posted. You guys can hear our pregame predictions throughout the whole day. There's a bunch of football, and especially halftime show. We can even kind of talk about it during the day. But regardless of the fact, our predictions are set. They're in. And then the Monday's games we can discuss next week.
Yes, we'll discuss Monday, but as of right now, I want to give my picks. I think the Bills are going to demolish the Titans.
Oh, you want to do the predictions for Bills and Titans? Okay.
Because it's tomorrow. So Titans, Bills. Bills are going to come out on top. I'm going to say it 31-20.
I'm gonna say 34-17 Bills.
And then Vikings, Eagles. Vikings looks
win.
really good this year.
Yeah, Vikings look like the team.
One of the top teams in the NFC. I would say Vikings come out on top. 28-17.
Yeah, the Eagles. Everyone that I've spoken to, I mean, obviously you guys can tell I'm in the drip, but everyone's saying the Eagles will win the NFC East. If they do, great. But the Eagles, I don't think they're the team. They let a Detroit Lions team. Now, granted, I've mentioned before, Detroit Lions are not the same, but regardless of the fact you let Detroit Lions score over 30 on you, it was a scoring game. You could tell the defenses are not where they need to be. The Vikings offense and defense are where they need to be. Vikings will win this game 31-10.
I can see it.
That's big bold.
All right. We can dive into the baseball playoff picture?
We can do that. We're going to
dive into the baseball playoff picture for a few minutes.
Few minutes. This kind of gives you guys, anyone that's listening to the NFL, a little bit of baseball. It's almost October.
Yeah. I just want to take a look at the playoff picture. As of right now, I know Astros and Dodgers clinched. And Dodgers last night were the first team to 100 wins. So they're on pace to probably have about the same record as last year.
So here's the playoff picture right now. American League in the buys would be number 1 Astros and number 2 Yankees. The wild card series, if this started today, the number 4 Jays would face the number 5 Rays. Number 3 Guardians will face the number 6 Mariners. Now, in the National League, Dodgers, no secret there. First team to 100 wins.
Yeah, I think Dodgers are going to, unfortunately.
Well,
probably go all the way.
Dodgers and Mets would take the 1st and 2nd seed. The Cardinals would take the 3rd seed. Braves, 4th.
Now, I just want to put this out there. Pujols is 2 home runs away from the 700 mark.
God, that just sounds so exciting to say.
Is it still going? Can you check?
Yeah, it's at 13.
All right. Just we're keeping tabs on it 'cause we had a hiccup earlier.
Yeah, so with that being said, yeah, the Cardinals, I did not know they overtook the Braves.
Braves.
Actually, no, the Braves would be number
I just want to
3.
put this out there. Braves have surpassed last year's record, and the season's not over. They only got 88 wins last year.
Yeah, the Braves are looking pretty tough right now. But what sucks, I saw a picture the other day. I don't know if I sent it to you, but the teams that have been the most disappointing this year, per the fans,
Giants are number one.
number 1 would be the Giants. People have said even added in the Diamondbacks, the Cubs, of course, and the Rangers. Just everything that got picked up, and the Angels.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Angels. That one disappointed me the most.
I was really hoping. I mean, if you
They
looked
just
at
had too many injuries all year.
If you look at the NL West, the Giants, Padres, Dodgers were together.
Yeah.
At one point, they were really
Yeah,
together.
so Giants started out the season like almost like they only lost like 5 games in the first month, and
Yeah.
then they just fell off hard for no reason.
Yeah, so it was tough to see that, and now Padres and Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers have just gone so far away. If you're joining this live stream, we are talking about the MLB playoff October picture. We did talk about the NFL beforehand, but just wrapping up. With that being said, Mets and Braves are very, very close together. It's pretty crazy to see. I mean, just looking at the standings right now from what we were looking at just in June, or July, excuse me. It's pretty crazy to see on how far the teams have gotten. But yeah, the playoff picture. I mean, how are we looking? How do you think? Who do you think's gonna make it?
I think Dodgers could come out on top. Braves are right there. Mets, don't sleep on the Mets. There's a lot of powerhouse teams this year in the playoffs. I wouldn't sleep on the Braves too much. I also wouldn't sleep on the Mets too much. Dodgers, they're not known for doing that great in the postseason. So I want to say the Braves might sneak their way back.
Okay.
Just because they got Acuna this year. And they did it without him last year.
So I'm gonna say I really feel like the Mariners could very, very much surprise us. I'm rooting for the underdogs here. I'm rooting for the Mariners.
Mariners might slip through the cracks as well. I wouldn't be shocked not one bit if the Mariners came through and came out on top. This year's kind of a toss-up on who's gonna win it all, because I want to say the Yankees are gonna pull through come postseason time, and I hope they do, because we haven't seen the Yankees do anything in quite some time.
Yeah.
So that'd be something cool to see. I want to maybe see the Yankees in it for once.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well.
Just because that lineup is so entertaining. You know what I do want to say is Aaron Judge's home runs really slowed down.
Aaron Judge is almost at 60 total.
We're really hoping for the record. I mean, he's still got a good like 2 weeks left in the season.
Yeah, I mean he's got a handful more games, but I mean regardless of the fact he's having a hell of a season. And
I hope I could see definitely he's gonna break 60 because he hit 2 home runs like not even 2 days ago in one game. So I think he's got the 60 in the bag. I really want to see if he could push for the 70.
It's going to be interesting to see. I would love to see that as well. But, I mean, Aaron Judge, the numbers that he's just putting up right now.
Now, the amount of steroid tests that man is going to get postseason-wise is going to be through the damn roof.
It's a lot.
Every week they're going to be hounding that man. Be like, you're the first person in like 10 years to get 50 plus.
You're the first person that breaks 60.
Yeah.
But with that being said, these are all just if the season ended today. I mean, more to come next week as the games progress, and hopefully we have a memorable experience next week if Pujols hits 2 more home runs.
I think Pujols got it, man. I think they're putting.
I hope so.
These looks. We're getting vintage.
Knock on
Pujols.
wood.
He's almost 20 dingers in the season.
But he did make history yesterday.
I really want him to hit 700 plus.
He did make history.
Yeah.
Third baseball player to ever reach, I want to say 7,000 RBIs.
Yeah, like Pujols is having a hell of a final season.
7,000.
So this is what sucks for the Cardinals, right? It'd be a hell of a ride if they can do it. But they're losing Molina, Pujols, and Wainwright all after this season.
Yeah.
They said no matter what happens, they're hanging it up. Pujols is over 40 years old. He's
I
about
want
to be
Cardinals
43.
to go all the way. I want them to have that one last
That
year.
fairy tale.
That fairy tale but they have the Dodgers to go through.
Yeah. And now Cardinals pitching is there.
But the Dodgers, man.
Yeah, the Dodgers are just hard to beat, man.
The Dodgers.
Here's the thing: is Dodgers are some teams they play different come postseason time, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm so interested. I mean this is the month. Yes, there's football, but this is the month that we really are looking at the baseball picture. So,
Yeah.
Other than that, do we have anything else we want to add?
No. If you tuned in here and there, thank you. This will obviously stay up, so you guys will be able to, catch up, stuff like that. 20 minutes before game time, we're gonna get this up and rolling. We're gonna get the audio pushed out at least a few minutes before game time. If you tuned in, thank you. I think we're gonna continue with the lives. If you haven't already, follow us, comment, give us some feedback, give us your predictions. This is week 2. This is episode 74, I believe.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're getting to the century mark, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this since 2020.
It's been awesome.
It's been fun. Eddie's been with us since about
January.
holidays last year. It's a postseason for football. We've been rolling with it. We've had some times where we weren't able to tune in every week, but we're still here. We're still giving you all that content you want. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, please. We didn't really touch on college this week, but college hasn't really ramped up a whole lot. Yesterday's games were a lot of like the prelim stuff. So next week is what really kicks it off for the power rankings and stuff. We'll touch on that more. But with that being said, this is it, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching. Have a great day.